ladies and gentlemen, to the 140th commencement of Syracuse University and the 97th commencement of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry of the State University of New York. Degrees will be conferred on candidates who have qualified for associate's, bachelor's, master's, and doctor's degrees, and those qualified to receive certificates of advanced studies. More than 3,500 students will participate in today's commencement ceremonies. The degree candidates procession, entering at the left front, is led by two class marshals of the Syracuse University class of 1994, Kimberly K. Farina and David M. C. Rakowski. Walking just behind them are the university scholars. These men and women of the class of 1994 have been named University Scholars because of their academic excellence and scholarly achievements. They received the nomination of their respective schools and colleges and were selected by a committee of the University Senate. Their names are in your program. The candidates for advanced degrees are next in the procession. The first group consists of those who will receive doctoral degrees this morning. The banners, which you will see carried by the student marshals of each school, symbolize the schools and colleges that make up Syracuse University. The banner preceding the doctoral candidates is that of the graduate school, which is black with a spectrum of colors representing the various fields of study. Now entering at the right are candidates for the Certificate of Advanced Studies, the Master of Arts, the Master of Science, and the Master of Professional Studies degrees from the Graduate School. The banner preceding these candidates is the gold banner of the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, depicting Maxwell Hall, the home of the social sciences. You will note the variety of colors in the hoods of the advanced degree candidates, and of course, each has a meaning. For example, those candidates wearing hoods of white did their graduate work in arts and letters. Those wearing gold and yellow studied in the sciences. The institution of learning, in this case Syracuse University, is signified by the color of the lining of the hood. Orange is the Syracuse University color. You will find a summary of the meaning of the caps, hoods, and gowns worn today under the heading Academic Heraldry in your program. Undergraduate degrees will be presented to students who have qualified in the university's several schools and colleges. Because the groups appear in the procession according to the age of their respective colleges, those from the College of Arts and Sciences are first, now entering at the left front. Depicted on their banner is the Hall of Languages, Syracuse University's oldest building, the home of the college. The 3 stars represent the humanities, social sciences, and the natural sciences. The next group to enter the arena at your right front is comprised of the candidates from the College of Visual and Performing Arts. The banner carried by this group depicts Kraus Castle, the campus building which houses a portion of the college. The stained glass windows in the symbol represent the various programs of the School of Art, the Department of Drama, the School of Music, and the Department of Speech Communication. Continuing the procession, to your right are two representatives of the third-year students of the College of Law of Syracuse University. Though they are now taking their final examinations, we welcome their participation in this all-university commencement. The law school commencement will be next Sunday. Degree candidates from the L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science are now entering at your right. Their banner represents the ever-expanding importance of engineering in today's world. Again, on your right, baccalaureate degree candidates from the School of Education begin their march. Their banner depicts students and books, the essence of education. And now, ladies and gentlemen, entering at your left are the candidates from the School of Information Studies to receive bachelor's degrees. Their banner represents the convergence of people, information, technology, and research. Appearing at your right are the candidates from the College for Human Development. The warmth and reach of the flame on their banner symbolizes the growth of individuals. To your left, here now are the candidates from the School of Management. The abacus on their banner signifies the economic forces which help to determine the world in which we live. To your right, the academic procession continues with the degree candidates from the S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communications. The banner they carry depicts the first building of the Newhouse Communications Center. Entering on your left to take their seats are the degree candidates from the College of Nursing. Symbolized on their banner is the philosophy of nursing, embracing the individual, the family, and the community. Now beginning their procession, at your left are the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the School of Architecture. On the brown banner carried by this group, you see a mingling of modern and ancient architecture. At the right, students from the School of Social Work enter the arena. Their banner portrays the significance of the relationships among individuals, families, and groups. Completing the procession on your left, the degree candidates from the State University of New York, College of Environmental Science and Forestry are now entering the arena. Leading their procession are the college marshals, followed by 3 scholars of the graduating class. Their names are in your program. The school's banner has an eagle depicted against a colorful nature background. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the candidates all assembled, the academic procession is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will continue from your right front. The mace bearer will lead the groups of newly retired emeriti faculty, the faculty from the schools and colleges, the university's administrative staff, the academic deans, and the trustees. The mace is carried by Professor Bradley Straight, Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. First in this procession are those who this year begin their retirement from active teaching at Syracuse University. Those processing today are Arlen Adams of the L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science, Neil Bellows of the School of Social Work, Kay Bushley of the College of Nursing, Thomas Carlson of the School of Social Work, Mitod Milak of the Library, John Oldfield of the L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science, James Price of the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Oti Scruggs of the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Harry Schwartzlander of the L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science, Daniel Testa of the College of Arts and Sciences, George Zito of the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. Walking immediately behind these honored teachers are other members of the faculty and members of the university's administrative staff. In the next group are the academic deans of the university's schools and colleges. Dean Thomas O'Shea of Summer Sessions, Dean Edward Golden, Student Relations, Vice President Thomas Cummings, Jr., University College, Dean David Smith of Admissions, Dean John Palmer, Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Dean William Pollard, the School of Social Work, Dean Bruce Abbey, the School of Architecture, Dean Grace Chickadance of the College of Nursing, Dean David Rubin of the S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communications, Dean George Berman, the School of Management, Dean Susan Crockett, the College for Human Development, Dean Stephen Chamberlain, the L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science, Dean Stephen Bossert, the School of Education, Dean Donald Marchand, the School of Information Studies, Dean Leo Lambert, the Graduate School, Dean Donald Lancy, the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Dean Robert Jensen, College of Arts and Sciences, and Vice President William Tully, the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry, and Vice President Ronald Cavanaugh, Undergraduate Studies. And now the trustees of Syracuse University begin their procession. The Board of Trustees is the highest governing voice of the university and is responsible for setting policy and otherwise guiding the affairs of Syracuse University. Concluding the academic procession is the Chancellor's party. Leading the group are Professor James Wiggins, the University Marshal and Chairman of the Religion Department of the College of Arts and Sciences, Professor Robert McClure, the Associate Marshal and Associate Dean of the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Gershon Winkow, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dean Richard Phillips of Hendricks Chapel, the Reverend Thomas Wolfe, Protestant Chaplain of Hendricks Chapel, and Ross Whaley, the President of the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry. Also included in the Chancellor's group are the honorary degree recipients. They are Carl R. Wohls, Professor of Microbiology at the University of Illinois, Shoshana S. Cardin, Chairman of the National Jewish Center for Learning and Leadership, Amartya Kumar Sen, Professor of Economics and Philosophy at Harvard University. Last in the procession are Arthur Savage, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry, Douglas Barkley, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University, Kurt Vonnegut, American short story writer, novelist, and critic, who will give the commencement address, and Kenneth A. Shaw, the Chancellor of Syracuse University. The color guard now moving into place is composed of members of the Army and Air Force Reserve Officers Training Corps at Syracuse University. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession is complete. The 140th commencement of Syracuse University and the 97th commencement of the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry is about to begin.
Mr. Chancellor, by authorization of the Board of Trustees and the university faculty, I declare the 140th commencement of Syracuse University and the 97th commencement of the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry to be in session.
Will the audience please rise and remain standing for the invocation and the national anthem. The invocation will be given by the Reverend Dr. Richard L. Phillips, Dean of Hendricks Chapel.
Will you please join me in prayer or meditation? O God, who creates and sustains in infinite variety and endlessly, known to us by names without limit, refreshed by rain's own purification, we assemble today to celebrate several thousand commencements, new beginnings born of years of study, hard work, joy-filled play, sometimes tough times, and wonderful companionship while here at Syracuse University. We pause amidst this pomp and circumstance to speak a word of thanks. Thanks to those who make such a day as this possible. To know the roles played by parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, and friends of every stripe, is to realize that sacrifice is alive and well in our world. Our appreciation extends to teachers, mentors, counselors, advisors, lab associates, and to peers in learning. They, along with unnumbered others, have made the growth and enrichment of these degree-seeking years possible. Even in our best moments, we only partially realize how much those who surround us really contribute to who and what we are. We speak a special word of thanks for Nancy today. May her retirement be as blessed and full as her career, which culminates today as Miss Commencement has been. As we savor this day, help us also identify with fellow human beings throughout the world who have no cause to celebrate. Allow us the rare privilege of moving the world in a direction that will bring honor and dignity to all of its creatures. And finally, help us each in our new lives find the higher, more noble path to travel. Amen.
The national anthem will be led by Tamara N. Thomas, who is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in music.
Who gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, saved us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of Conferring.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the great pleasure of introducing Kenneth A. Shaw, Chancellor of Syracuse University.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Vinkow. It's great to see you all bright-eyed, up and at 'em, bushy-tailed, and obviously well-rested this morning. There's nothing like a good night's sleep to brighten the day, right? Now, I want to take care of some very important items now. First, I will find my way to the steps of Hendrick Chapel right after this ceremony this morning. If you want, and I'd like that very much, you can bring your family members by to say hello and take a picture, rain or shine. Second, I have a request of the graduates. There are some people here who have truly gone the extra mile for you. These are the people who brought you here 4 or 5 years ago and moved your brand new clothes, your spotless microwave, untouched dictionary into the residence hall. They said goodbye. Some may have cried all the way back home, maybe because of relief. They listened to you as you extolled your triumphs and cataloged your defeats. And they commiserated when you said you didn't think you could stand another minute on campus. And they begged you to come home when you said you didn't think you wanted to leave over break. They sent you more money when you ran out of cash. You didn't tell them you used it to get your ears pierced. They may very well have done without to pay your tuition. And now, they're very proud of you. Graduates, please stand, turn toward your families and loved ones, and cheer. Thank you. Now, there's another group who cared about you, too. They listened while you told them the computer ate your paper. They pretended not to notice when you fell asleep during class. And they pushed you to work harder than you thought you ever could. They didn't accept half-hearted efforts. They lit a fire under you, igniting a passion to learn and to know more. They shared the love of learning that made them choose their profession. Ladies and gentlemen of the faculty, please rise as we recognize your many contributions to the class of 1994. Thank you. There's a member of the faculty who could not be here this morning, though I know he is in spirit, and that is Professor of Economics and Chancellor Emeritus Melvin A. Eggers. It was Dr. Eggers who welcomed you to campus 4 years ago. The last class he welcomed as leader of this university. He is very proud of you, too, and will be watching this ceremony on tape. Here's to you, Mel. Now the words you've been waiting for, and finally, a word or two about your future. I'm here to tell you that you don't know yet what you're going to be. Now that's a pretty rotten statement from a person who just charged you a lot of money for an education. I was wrong, I suppose. Surely I should promise you a definite path toward happiness and success. I wish I could, but an education, even a Syracuse University education, doesn't come with that guarantee. What you got from us is a set of tools, and how you use them is your business. You're about to join about 150,000 alumni of Syracuse University. Among them are some millionaires, and maybe a few homeless people. A selection of patrons of the arts, fine public servants, noted humanitarians, and no doubt a scattering of criminals. None of them knew where they would end up when they left here either. I know some of you think you know. I don't believe you do. Today's speaker, author Kurt Vonnegut, under parental guidance, or I might add forced march, studied chemistry for 3 years at Cornell. We call it SU South. After World War II, he did graduate work in anthropology at the University of Chicago, took a job at GE, moved to Cape Cod and sold sobs, taught English to disturbed children, and eventually became one of the world's best-known contemporary writers. When Vonnegut was your age, he didn't know what he was going to be. Neither did I, nor do most people. What then has all this preparation been about? It's been about learning. Learning who you are, learning what the world has in it, learning how to learn, learning what the questions are, not just the answers, learning how to fail and try all over again, learning to trust the inner voice that will tell you the right thing to do. If we know anything, it's that the world is in a state of constant change. What we know today quite literally becomes old news tomorrow or even by this evening. A set of facts memorized is often just useless data, cluttering up our minds. If we know how to approach a problem, how to ask questions, how to work with others, and how to continually strive to become better at what we do, then we can say we're truly educated. And that is what I hope you are taking away with you today. It was one of your own, Adrian Autry, meant when he said recently, "Through my studies and activity at Syracuse University, I've become a better person." And that is really what an education is all about. Yes, that is what an education is all about. My good friends, I wish you well. I ask that you remember each other and the university that was your home for a while, and I offer you my heartfelt congratulations. Thank you. According to a tradition at Syracuse, 13 remarkable young men and women of the class of 1994 have been selected by a committee of the University Senate and named University Scholars. Their academic excellence and scholarly achievements are an inspiration to us all and bring distinction to Syracuse University and to you. Stephanie A. Moses, who completed her degree in the College of Arts and Sciences with a major in biology, represents the 12 scholars in bringing a message to the class of 1994. Stephanie?
Good morning, everyone. And before I begin, I'd just like to say Happy Mother's Day, moms, to all of you. And thank you all for coming to share in this long-awaited day with us. For some of us, today has come much too quickly. For others, it didn't come fast enough. But for each of us, the road up till now has been colored with memorable landmarks. Most of us cannot even count the number of new ideas we've encountered, the life opportunities we've become aware of, the smiles we've grown fond of, In the good times, many of us have shared, all here at Syracuse University. Every new individual and experience here at SU has caused us to push at our seams and begin the lifelong growing process that we now look forward to. And we have all of you here today to thank. Supportive parents, faithful friends and family, encouraging faculty, and a fostering university. Thank you so much for seeing us through our trials and successes here. And we take your strength with us as a new force begins pushing on us, one that questions our next move. It seems that in the past few years, we as a group have received a new identity. We have been labeled Generation X. Not the most positive sounding label, is it? And neither are the characteristics it's associated with. We have been called lazy, apathetic, and confused. But I think I see something deeper than those who might label us do. We are a generation who sees the world as it is, as something complex and less than straightforward. It's not that we're all apathetic. We accept that the world is too complex to adhere to strong opinions, that being extremist suggests a closed, not a caring or thinking mind. And when we say we're not so crazy about the on-the-go, go-get-'em attitude of the 80s, I believe it's not because we're lazy, but because we believe there is so much more to life that needs to be experienced than an intense 60-hour-a-week career and money as our single focus. So when people ask us time and time again what we are going to be when we get out of here, most of us feel the need to hesitate.
Then has all this preparation been about? It's been about learning who you are, learning what the world has in it, learning how to learn, learning what the questions are, not just the answers, learning how to fail and try all over again, learning to trust the inner voice that will tell you the right thing to do. If we know anything, it's that the world is in a state of constant change. What we know today quite literally becomes old news tomorrow or even by this evening. A set of facts memorized is often just useless data, cluttering up our minds. If we know how to approach a problem, how to ask questions, how to work with others, and how to continually strive to become better at what we do, then we can say we're truly educated. And that is what I hope you are taking away with you today. It was one of your own, Adrian Autry, meant when he said recently, "Through my studies and activity at Syracuse University, I've become a better person." And that is really what an education is all about. Yes, that is what an education is all about. My good friends, I wish you well. I ask that you remember each other and the university that was your home for a while, and I offer you my heartfelt congratulations. Thank you. According to a tradition at Syracuse, 13 remarkable young men and women of the class of 1994 have been selected by a committee of the University Senate and named University Scholars. Their academic excellence and scholarly achievements are an inspiration to us all and bring distinction to Syracuse University and to you. Stephanie A. Moses, who completed her degree in the College of Arts and Sciences with a major in biology, represents the 12 scholars in bringing a message to the class of 1994. Stephanie?
Good morning, everyone. And before I begin, I'd just like to say Happy Mother's Day, moms, to all of you. And thank you all for coming to share in this long-awaited day with us. For some of us, today has come much too quickly. For others, it didn't come fast enough. But for each of us, the road up till now has been colored with memorable landmarks. Most of us cannot even count the number of new ideas we've encountered, the life opportunities we've become aware of, the smiles we've grown fond of, and the good times many of us have shared, all here at Syracuse University. Every new individual and experience here at SU has caused us to push at our seams and begin the lifelong growing process that we now look forward to. And we have all of you here today to thank. Supportive parents, faithful friends and family, encouraging faculty, and a fostering university. Thank you so much for seeing us through our trials and successes here. And we take your strength with us as a new force begins pushing on us, one that questions our next move. It seems that in the past few years, we as a group have received a new identity. We have been labeled Generation X. Not the most positive sounding label, is it? And neither are the characteristics it's associated with. We have been called lazy, apathetic, and confused. But I think I see something deeper than those who might label us do. We are a generation who sees the world as it is, as something complex and less than straightforward. It's not that we're all apathetic. We accept that the world is too complex to adhere to strong opinions, that being extremist suggests a closed, not a caring or thinking mind. And when we say we're not so crazy about the on-the-go, go-get-'em attitude of the 80s, I believe it's not because we're lazy, but because we believe there is so much more to life that needs to be experienced than an intense 60-hour-a-week career and money as our single focus. So when people ask us time and time again what we are going to be when we get out of here, most of us feel the need to hesitate and dance around the answer a bit. And perhaps most importantly, we don't like to be labeled. This is a major pet peeve of our generation, because labels reduce us and overlook our multitude of ideas and values. Now, as we move out into the quote-unquote real world, we soon-to-be alumni have a unique opportunity to take that energy, which we have used to defend and build our individual identities, and turn it outside of ourselves. All of us here, because of the accomplishments we're being honored for today, are successful. But we cannot know true success until we fulfill our responsibilities to each other. We as a class have an outstanding capacity to use the knowledge we've gained in and out of the classroom to make a true impact. Here at SU, with this distinctive array of people, ideas, and opportunities, we have been equipped with the proper perspective to do this. What makes us each unique is that we will all choose to use those tools in different ways. Herein lies the beauty of our generation. Each of us has the ability to take our experiences here and be distinctive, but we must learn to do so in the context of a commitment to respect the directions of others, and an understanding that this does not diminish us, but strengthens us. And don't worry, if it hurts a little to understand some ideas, it's probably just growing pains. If we make a commitment to extend the benefit of our knowledge outside of ourselves, we can and will be truly successful, and we will have each other to thank. As complex as we admit the world we're on the edge of is, I think we're about to learn that the answers might be pretty simple. No worries, mates, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce our honored commencement speaker, Mr. Kurt Vonnegut, an American novelist, short story writer, literary critic, is the son of architects and painters, and an artist in his own right. His works, Cat's Cradle, Sirens of Titan, Slaughterhouse-Five, and many others have deeply influenced generations of readers and have set firmly his place among this country's most admired writers. Nearly always irreverent and almost never impressed with the ordinary and expected, he has tweaked our most established institutions with skill and finesse. I look forward to his words for us today. Mr. Vonnegut.
There are three things that I very much want to say to the class of 1994 in this brief hail and farewell. They are things which haven't been said enough to you freshly minted graduates, nor to your parents or guardians, nor to me, nor to your teachers. They are, I will say these in the body of my speech, I'm just setting you up for this. First, I will say thank you. Second, I will say I'm truly sorry. Now that is the striking novelty among the three. We live in a time when nobody ever seems to apologize for anything. They just weep and raise hell on the Oprah Winfrey show. Now the third thing I want to say to you at some point is, probably close to the end, is we love you. Now, if I fail to say any of those three things in the body of this great speech, hold up your hands, and I will remedy the deficiency. And I'm going to ask you to hold up your hands this early in the proceedings for another reason. I first declare to you that the most wonderful thing, the most valuable thing you can get from an education is this: the memory of one person who could really teach, whose lessons made life and yourselves much more interesting and full of possibilities than you had previously supposed possible. Now I ask this of everyone here, including all of us up here on the platform: how many of us, how many of you had such a teacher? Kindergarten counts. Please hold up your hands. Hooray. You may want to murmur the name of that great teacher. I thank you for being educated. I've thanked you now. That way I don't have to speak to a bunch of nincompoops. And for you freshly minted college graduates, this is a puberty ceremony long overdue. We, whose principal achievement is that we're older than you, have to acknowledge at last that you are grown-ups too. There are old poops possibly among us on this very day who will say that you aren't grown-ups until you have somehow survived, as they have, some famous calamity, the Great Depression, World War II, Vietnam, whatever. Storytellers are responsible for this destructive, not to say suicidal, myth. Again and again in stories, after some terrible mess, the character is able to say at last, "Today I am a woman. Today I am a man." The end. When I got home from World War II, my Uncle Dan clapped me on the back and he said, "You're a man now." So I killed him. Not really, but I certainly felt like doing it. Now you young twerps want a new name for your generation? Probably not, you just want jobs, right? Well, the media do us all such tremendous favors, and they've called you Generation X, right? It's 2 clicks from the very end of the alphabet. I hereby declare you Generation A, as much at the beginning of a series of astonishing triumphs and failures as Adam and Eve were so long ago. I apologize. I said I'd apologize. I apologize now. I apologize because of the terrible mess the planet is in, but it has always been a mess. There have never been any good old days. There have just been days. And as I say to my grandchildren, don't look at me, I just got here myself. So you know what I'm going to do? I declare everybody here a member of Generation A. Tomorrow is another day for all of us. Having said that, I have made us, for a few hours at least, what most of us do not have and what we need so desperately. I have made us an extended family, one for all and all for one. A husband, a wife, and some kids is not a family. It's a terribly vulnerable survival unit. Now, those of you who get married or are married, when you fight with your spouse, what each of you will be saying to the other one actually is, you're not enough people. You're only one person. I should have hundreds of people around. I met a man and a wife in Nigeria, Igbos. They just had a new baby. They had 1,000 relatives there in southern Nigeria, and they were going to take that baby around and visit all the other relatives. We should all have families like that. Now, you take Dan and Marilyn Quayle, who imagine themselves as a brave, clean-cut little couple. They are surrounded by an enormous extended family, what we should all have. I mean, judges, senators, newspaper editors, lawyers, bankers, is they are not alone, and one reason they are so comfortable is that they are members of extended families. And I would really, over the long run, hope America would find some way to provide all of our citizens with extended families, a large group of people they can call on for help. Now, all right, I've made us an extended family. Does our family have a flag? Well, you bet. It's a big orange rectangle. Orange is a very good color and maybe the best one. It's full of vitamin C and cheerful associations, if one can forget the troubles in Ireland. Now, this gathering is a work of art. The teacher whose name I mentioned when we all remembered good teachers asked me one time, what is it artists do? And I mumbled something. They do two things, he said. First, they admit that they can't straighten out the whole universe, and then second, they make at least one little part of it exactly as it should be. A blob of clay, a square of canvas, a piece of paper, or whatever. We have all worked so hard and well to make these moments in this place exactly what they should be. Now, as I've told you, I had a bad uncle named Dan who said a male couldn't be a man unless he'd gone to war. But I had a good uncle named Alex, whose life, who said when life was most agreeable, and it could be just a pitcher of lemonade in the shade, he would say, if this isn't nice, what is? So I say that about what we have achieved here right now. Now, if he hadn't said that so regularly, maybe 5 or 6 times a month, we might not have paused to notice how rewarding life can be sometimes. Perhaps my good Uncle Alex will live on in some of you members of the Syracuse class of 1994, if in the future you will pause to say out loud ever so often, if this isn't nice, what is? Now, my time is up, and I haven't even inspired you with heroic tales of the past, Teddy Roosevelt's cavalry charge up San Juan Hill, Desert Storm, nor given you visions of a glorious future, computer programs, interactive TV, the information superhighway, speed the day. I've spent too much time celebrating this very moment and place, once the future we dreamed of so long ago. This is it. We're here. How the heck did we do it? A neighbor of mine I hired him. He was a handyman to build an L on my house where I could write. He did the whole damn thing as he built the foundation and then the sidewalls and the roof. He did it all by himself. And when it was all done, he stood back and he said, "How the hell did I ever do that? How the hell did we ever do this? We did it." And if this isn't nice, what is? Now, I got a letter from a sappy woman a while back. She knew I was sappy too, which is to say a lifelong Democrat. She was pregnant, and she wanted to know if I thought it was a mistake to bring a little baby into a world as troubled as this one is. And I replied that what made being alive almost worthwhile for me was the saints I met. They could be almost anywhere. By saints, I meant people who behaved decently and honorably in societies which were so often obscene. Our own society is very frequently obscene. Perhaps many of us here, regardless of our ages or power or wealth, can be saints for her child to meet. There was one thing I forgot to say, and I promised I would say. That is, we love you, we really do.
Chancellor Shaw will now award the honorary degrees for Syracuse University. Will Professor Hemphill please present his candidate? I'll do that after.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, Professor Carl R. Woese.
Carl R. Woese, Professor of Microbiology at the School of Life Sciences, University of Illinois, and native of Syracuse, New York. We honor your significant contributions to the field of microbial genetics, microbial ecology, and evolution. Your ideas have profoundly changed our perception of how life arose and the lineages of the kingdoms of the living world. Author of several important books, including The Origin of Life and The Genetic Code, and numerous articles. Your most influential work is the development of techniques for sequencing nucleic acids and using the data to organize the taxonomy of major groups of microorganisms. You've been named to the National Academy of Sciences, and you've earned such important awards as the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Award and the Van Leeuwenhoek Medal from the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Sciences. We're pleased to recognize the many important contributions you've made to the development of new knowledge in your field. Now, by the action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and I present you with this diploma and direct that you be invested with the appropriate hood.
Will Professor Smith please present her candidate?
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa Shoshana Shubin Cardin.
Shoshana Shubin Cardin, noted educator, advocate, and champion for human rights. We honor you for your outstanding contributions to the quality of life in this country and in the world. Widely known and admired for your voluntary leadership, you have served as president of every major Jewish not-for-profit organization. Under your direction, these organizations have saved literally thousands of people from oppressive governments, delivered aid to poor and elderly people in impoverished countries, and opened the doors to emigration and hope to many others. You've also been a strong advocate for women's interests and have led the way toward winning women's credit rights and reforming the disposition of marital property. In recognition of your outstanding achievements, you've received several awards, including the Nahamat Golden Meyer Award, the State of Maryland Governor's Citation, and the Certificate of Merit from the United States Congress. We're pleased to honor your commitment, your dedication, and empathy for the people of the world, and for your leadership toward achieving a better life for all. And now, by the action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and I present you with this diploma and direct that you be invested with the appropriate hood.
Will Professor Kelly, father of Whitney Kelly, 1994 Phi Beta Kappa graduate, please present his candidate?
Where are you? There he is. There's the father.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Amartya Kumar Sen.
Amartya Kumar Sen, internationally renowned economist and philosopher. You've made significant contributions to the body of knowledge about welfare economics. Now a Lamont University professor at Harvard University, you've also served on the faculties of the Delhi School of Economics, the London School of Economics, and Oxford University. You're also president of the American Economic Association and former president of the Econometric Society. You've published work in such areas as political philosophy, economics of poverty and famine, inequality, and social choice theory. Your work has earned the John Mayer Global Citizenship Award, the Senator Giovanni Agnelli International Prize in Ethics, and the Frankie Seidman Distinguished Award in Political Economy, among many other honors. We're pleased to recognize your singular achievements toward increasing knowledge and understanding in your field, and your steadfast commitment to the highest standards of scholarly work. And now, by the action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees, Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and I present you with this diploma and direct that you be invested with the appropriate hood.
The Hendricks Chapel Choir will perform under the direction of Julie Pretzat.
Great day, the righteous marching. Great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. Great day, great day, the righteous marching. Great day, God's gonna build up Zion's walls. We want no cowards in our band. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. We call for valiant hearted men. God's gonna build up Zion's walls. God's gonna build up science 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 walls. Great day, great day, great day.
All doctoral candidates will remain standing, facing the platform, after their degrees are conferred, so that they may come to the platform to be greeted personally by Chancellor Shaw and President Whaley. Vice President Tully will present doctoral degree candidates from the State University of New York, College of Environmental Science and Forestry.
Candidates for the doctoral degree from the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry, please rise and come forward. President Whaley, Chancellor Shaw, I have the honor to present these candidates as qualified to receive their degree.
Pursuant to the action of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry faculty, the college trustees, and the trustees of the State University of New York, I confer on you the doctor's degree appropriate to your course of study and admit you to all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action.
Syracuse University joins with the College of Environmental Science and Forestry in conferring these degrees.
Dean Lambert will present candidates for the doctoral degree in the Graduate School of Syracuse University.
Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Arts, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Philosophy, please rise and come forward. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates as qualified to receive their degrees.
By action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the doctoral degree appropriate to your course of study and invest you with all the rights and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action.
Will the doctoral degree recipients please come forward to be greeted by Chancellor Shaw and President Whaley? John Stanley Novak. Joroga Mare Muega. Menki Lau. Jiming Chen. Yudi Pan. Shaw Shi, F.X. Webster, Mary C. Daly, Kyung-hee Choi E., Charles Edward Reed, Tatiana Hersky, Angelo Todorov, Heidi Olson Koenig, Jill Eshelman Discordia, Carla Asuncion Villarica, Kazi Mohammed Dawood, Yan Chang, John F. Kowaleski, Edward Joseph Andraco, Michael Leroy Oberg, Thomas Arthur Clinton Jr., Ahmad Rahal Arabi, Michael Thomas May, Mary Jo Gallo, Stuart Schweid, Richard Charles Pegler, Ann Warner Franti, Charles Lee Michael Carnreichy, Kim Schifrin, Robin Turco, Christopher Henry Hoy, Joseph Scarlatta, William Scott Tiki, Enya Sue Brown, Anna Mary Zapia Allen, Indra Balachandran, Sharma Palutla, Robert Allen Udick, Elaine Ruth Cleaton, Brian Douglas Polkinghorn, Newman Robert Glass, Pamela K. June, Maureen Ann Sullivan, Kathleen M. Rourke, Judith Ann Moline, Lisa Ann Wing, Caroline Hauga, Mitchell Evan Merowitz, Christopher Paul Sirmo, Suhaila F. Almutawa, Thomas John Barnard, Jahangir Rahman, Scott Waverly Bailey, Kirk Edward Twardowski, Leah Alexandra Henry, Deborah Lean Hedin, James Forrest Reinhardt, Akio Sone, Samuel V. Kennedy III, Carla Vaccaro Lloyd, Margaret Hannes DeFleur, Deborah Lynn Merskin, Thomas John Philip Hurling, Chirivo Victor Quinda, Pamela W. Kissel, Peter George Beatty, Kamal Fudelbay, Janti Sankaran, Umesh Balur, Kathleen Testo Fraser, Tari Dawn Kano, Ching Tai Chu, Robert O. Ross, Nikos B. Trulinos, Jonathan Scott Greenfield, Kingsley Chakudam Wosu, David Earl Brigham, Mehmet Emin Dalkalich, James Joseph Gifford, Margaret Ann Chase, Constance Eunice Bush, Sheila Romeo Small, Mujahid Unar, Nakuli Woodall, Galen A. Vesey. Congratulations, all our doctoral candidates.
There are two student marshals here from the College of Law representing candidates for the Juris Doctoral degree. They will complete their requirements next week and have their own commencement ceremony on May 15th. Will the two student marshals of the College of Law please rise? We wish you well on your final exams.
Master's degrees in the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry will be conferred by President Whaley for the State University and by Chancellor Shaw for Syracuse University. Candidates for the master's degree will be presented by Vice President Tully.
Candidates for the master's degree at the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry, please rise. President Whaley, Chancellor Shaw, I have the honor to present these candidates as qualified to receive their degree.
Pursuant to the action of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry faculty, the college trustees, and the trustees of the State University of New York, I confer on you the degree appropriate to your course of study and admit you to all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action.
Syracuse University joins with the College of Environmental Science and Forestry in conferring these degrees.
Candidates for master's degrees and certificates of advanced study at Syracuse University will be presented by Dean Lambert.
Candidates for master's degrees and certificates of advanced studies at Syracuse University, please rise. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates as qualified to receive their degrees.
By action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the degree appropriate to your course of study and admit you to all the rights and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action.
Will the Syracuse University Scholars, the Environmental Science and Forestry College Scholars, and the two class marshals please rise and come up to the platform to be greeted by Chancellor Shaw and President Whaley. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates as outstanding representatives of the class of 1994. Kimberly K. Farina, David Michael Komp-Rokowski, Stephen P. Campbell, Robin L. Pietropalo, Deborah R. Reeves, Tyrone G. Biniards, Susan L. Campbell, Lori A. Clark, Jennifer R. Gelb, Michael A. Cagrisi, Roberto Manuel Mello, Stephanie A. Moses, C. Katanu Mwosa, Patrick J. O'Neill, Jennifer L. Paris, Kerry L. Ryan, Elena B. Smith, Petra Renee Wickland. Congratulations.
I would like you to know that 15 candidates in the Army and the Air Force ROTC programs were commissioned as second lieutenants at his service in Hendricks Chapel this morning. Would they please stand and be recognized?
Baccalaureate degrees in the State University of New York, College of Environmental Science and Forestry will be conferred by President Whaley for the State University and by Chancellor Shaw for Syracuse University. Candidates for the baccalaureate degree will be presented by Vice President Tully.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree in the State University of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry, please rise. President Whaley, Chancellor Shaw, I have the honor to present these candidates as qualified to receive their degree.
Pursuant to the action of the College of Environmental Science and Forestry faculty, the college trustees, and the trustees of the State University of New York, I confer on you the degree appropriate to your course of study and admit you to all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action.
Syracuse University joins with the College of Environmental Science and Forestry in conferring these degrees.
Please be seated. Will the academic deans of the schools and colleges presenting candidates for associate and baccalaureate degrees please come forward? College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Robert Jensen. College of Visual and Performing Arts, Dean Donald Lancy. L.C. Smith College of Engineering and Computer Science, Dean Stephen C. Chamberlain. School of Education, Dean Stephen Bossert. School of Information Studies, Dean Donald Marchand. College for Human Development, Dean Susan Crockett. School of Management, Dean George Berman. S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communications, Dean David Rubin. College of Nursing, Dean Grace Chickadon. School of Architecture, Dean Bruce J. Abbey. School of Social Work, Dean William Pollard, the academic deans. Representing the academic deans, Vice President Ronald Kavanaugh will present the candidates for associate and baccalaureate degrees.
Candidates for the associate and baccalaureate degrees of all the schools and colleges of Syracuse University, please rise. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present these candidates as worthy to receive their degree.
And indeed, Mr. Vice President, they are worthy. By action of the University Senate, the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University concurring, I confer on you the degree appropriate to your course of study and admit you to all the rights and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action. Congratulations and good luck.
Will the guests and students please rise for the alma mater? All please rise for the alma mater and remain standing for the benediction followed by the recessional. The alma mater will be led by Jennifer R. Gelb, who received a Bachelor of Music degree in voice performance. The alma mater. Benediction will be given by the Reverend Thomas V. Wolfe, Protestant chaplain of Hendricks Chapel.
What a great day. Let us pray. Source of every human hope, whose love and care have touched us all by your wisdom, we have been introduced to the power of truth. We give you thanks for all that has been, the experiences of life and learning, struggle and success. Now we stand poised at the edge of what has been our reality for these past few years. We are about to step into new places, experiences, and relationships. As you have all along the way, continue to open us to the deeper meanings of this moment, which is both wistful and a time of joy, which honors our past while advancing us on an uncertain path. On this day of endings and beginnings, we applaud the transmission of wisdom from one generation to the next, yet are awed by all that remains unknown. Sensitize us and make us aware of that which is yet to be discovered, felt, thought, and expressed. Encourage us always to dwell among those who savor beauty, practice truth, advance community, respond in compassion, are animated by wisdom not their own, empowered by a spirit they do not possess, awed by mystery which defies comprehension, and wonder which claims our adoration. So send us from this place with a vitality for life and a spirit of hope for all our days to come. Amen and amen.